wouldn't be scared of this, bro? Like, walking through these halls, nothing in sight, just infinite space, maze, don't know what you're gonna run into. It doesn't get any more creepier than that. I feel like there is nobody in the world that could clip into the back rooms and be okay. I guess it's a phobia. Could you say it's a phobia? I guess, like the infinite empty space, the yellow lights, officey looking areas. I mean, the back rooms could look like anything. Like, it could look like this. It's still creepy, you know what I mean? It's just, it has a weird nostalgic nightmare horror vibe to it. You know what I mean? It's very, very creepy, but we're gonna be checking this out today. Could you actually survive the back rooms? Let me know down in the comments below. What do you guys think? Do you think you would be able to survive the back rooms and just exist in that space forever without feeling like, feeling terror? Terror. Like, I don't know why, but it's deathly creepy. No? Deathly creepy, in my opinion. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you haven't already. Go sub to Nerd Horror if you like nerd science too. He has multiple channels too that we'll probably be watching from as well, so that should be fun, right?
The no clip happened so fast you didn't even drop your phone. One step was on concrete, the next was on damp carpet that smelled like a thrift store basement. You look up and there's no sky. Just exit, just miles of yellow hallways, dead fluorescent lights, and a buzz that's already in your teeth. The back rooms don't care if you're brave. They only care if you're lucky. And the thing that kills most people here isn't the monsters. It's the days before they even meet one. That's what we're finding out today.
What I'm saying,
how far down you make it before something finally wins. Hold on to that phone. You're gonna need it more than once. The yellow maze. Carpet squishes under your shoes when you stand up. The air is thick and warm and smells like old glue and mildew. You turn a full circle and there's nothing but identical walls. Wallpaper peels in strips that curl like dried leaves. And the color isn't quite yellow. It's the yellow of a nicotine stain, of a room that hasn't seen daylight in decades. The light flickers once and the hum climbs into your skull. It's louder than any office, and it vibrates behind your eyes until your temples throb. You check your phone. Battery at 60%, no signal. The clock is frozen at 11:43 p.m. And it hasn't moved since you landed. Remember that number. It matters later. Walking feels better than standing, so you move. Your footsteps don't echo the way they should, because the carpet drinks the sound. The halls stretch in ways that don't make sense. You walk straight for 10 minutes and pass a dead outlet you've already passed twice. You drag your key across the wallpaper to mark it. It leaves no mark. Circle back and the wall is smooth. Time doesn't work here, and that's the real enemy. Your mouth is already dry. Your stomach already cramping. There are no doors, no windows, and the hallway will not stop. You start counting steps just to own a number, and you lose it around 300. The pattern on the wall swims when you stare too long. You catch yourself talking to the empty hallway just to hear something that isn't the buzz. You rub your eyes, blink hard, and for a half second, there's a shape at the far end of the hall. A person standing still, facing away. You call out. Your voice comes back flat and small. You blink again and it's gone. That shape wasn't a monster. That was your own brain starting to misfire, and that's the warning. Sitting down means giving up, so you keep moving. And the next corner changes the color. The wallpaper isn't yellow anymore. It's manila, like old folders, under a dim orange light. The room is small.
Like, that's any change.
The air feels softer. This
I mean, it
is the manila room. The first thing in here that doesn't seem to want your mind to break. You press your back to the wall and breathe. The hum drops to almost nothing. And for the first time since you fell through the sidewalk, your eyes close. So here's where we run the numbers. You've been in level 0 for hours. No water, no food, no idea which way's out. Good news, level 0 has no entities, none. Bad news, most people who die here die from dehydration or from their own mind cracking before anything with teeth ever shows up. Right now, your odds...
And yeah, what's so there's levels. I thought the backrooms was basically just infinite spaces. There's actual levels to it. I didn't know that.
Sit at about 60%, and that number bleeds every hour you stay still. So, it's a simple bet. Rest and lose ground, or keep moving and hope the next hallway is a way down. The basement. The carpet turns to concrete while you aren't looking. You open your eyes and the manila room is gone. Now you're in level 1, the habitable zone, except this stretch is a parking garage. Concrete pillars, a ceiling that drips somewhere in the dark, air that smells like dust and rust. A plastic bottle sits on a wooden crate against the wall. The label says almond water, and you've drained half of it before your brain catches up. The taste is sweet and strong, but your throat could cry from gratitude. The floor is cracked, oil stains spreading like the shadows of people who used to stand here. Then you spot it, a working outlet, buzzing low. You plug in and watch the battery climb to 70%, and for one breath, you feel almost safe. Then the air pressure shifts behind you.
Wait, what? He has his phone. There's no way his phone is even working in the back rooms, let alone electricity. I mean, I know the lights are on, right? So the electricity should be working, but there are no outlets. I've never seen an outlet in the back rooms or anything like that. That's when has there been an outlet? Isn't the back room supposed to be like and especially the water, isn't it supposed to be just an infinite space of just nothing? And then eventually maybe you find something, and it's not a food, it's not a drink, it's not a prize, it's your death. I don't think this is there wouldn't be any water, there wouldn't be any plugs. You're not charging your phone in the back rooms. Okay, so keep that in mind.
Like a door opening in a house with no doors. You turn. Movement near the far pillar. Someone standing there, not coming closer, not leaving. You call out, and they turn their head.
Because the infinite emptiness is what makes it the most creepy, right? So if there's stuff actually like, that you can use or pick up or drink or something, then it's just like, oh, this is just a maze with items I can find. It's not the back rooms anymore.
Slow, the light catches their face, and they look human, scared. They start toward you, hand raised, just another lost person. But the way they move is wrong. Their steps are too long for their legs, and their smile doesn't change, even when the light does. The wrong kind of company. They ask about your family, where you came from. The voice is soft and friendly, but the questions land like they're being read off a card. You mention your sister, and they say her name back.
Or his face, though.
Why are you running?
You mention your sister, and they say her name back with a pause that's a half second too long. Their head tilts at an angle that turns your stomach over. You step back and look at the hand again. The fingers are too long. The skin at the wrist doesn't match the skin at the neck. That's when it clicks. This isn't a person who got lost. This is something wearing a person, like a jacket it pulled off a hook. This is a skin stealer. And here's the part worse than the teeth. When you run, it doesn't chase. It just stands there with that fixed smile and watches you go. You sprint until your lungs burn, and when you look back, the garage is empty, but the image stays. The fingers, the tilt, the pause. Some things down here don't hunt with claws. They hunt with trust.
Ew.
And you almost handed yours
creepy
over.
as hell. Why does that look so out of place though? Like the looks like some emo dude, just like it looks like Marilyn Manson. Imagine being trapped in the back rooms with Marilyn Manson.
And you almost handed yours over. The worst part isn't tonight. It's that you'll never fully trust the next face you meet, and in a place built to isolate you, that doubt follows you deeper than any monster can. A rusted fire exit sign hangs crooked on the far wall, the door beneath it jammed half open. Hot air blasts through the gap like an oven door swinging wide. You squeeze through and the world turns to steam and iron. Updated probability. You walked away from a skin stealer with no bite and no blood, which is genuine.
This might be like weird, and I don't think it's weird, but I'd rather walk in a manila or yellow backroom space than walk in like an all metal type of area constantly. You know what I mean? The environments that look exactly like this, where it's all rusted metal and all that, would be terrible to constantly be walking through.
Squeeze through and the world turns to steam and iron. Updated probability. You walked away from a skin stealer with no bite and no blood, which is genuinely lucky. But your trust is gone, and that costs more than you'd think. Paranoia slows every decision, and down here, hesitation kills as fast as anything with a mouth. Your odds drop to 45%. The only question now is whether you can still think straight enough to beat the house. Pipe dreams.
I didn't even know his odds were even past 45%. It was more like a 3%, 1%, you know? And to be fair, sometimes the 1% is bigger than the 99%. So like what I mean by that is like, and I know it's gonna sound like crazy or whatever, but like sometimes you having a 1% chance for something as opposed to a 99% chance to something, sometimes that 1% is just really good odds. I don't know how to explain that, but if you know what I mean, you know exactly what I mean.
The heat hits before your eyes adjust. You're in a tunnel of rusted pipes and sweating concrete.
Pipes,
and the air's so thick, it's like breathing through a wet towel.
Yeah,
this is level 2.
And that's exactly why I think, because the air would probably obviously be just terrible.
Also called pipe dreams, and the name is a joke nobody's laughing at. Steam screams out of the valves overhead, and the metal is hot enough to blister skin, so you walk the center line. Your phone flashlight's been burning this whole time, and in this heat, the battery drops like a stone. But you can't afford the dark yet. The walls groan. The floor jumps, and dust comes down in gray sheets. Earthquakes hit this level like it's sitting on a fault line, and the concrete is cracked in ways that promise the next one will be bigger. A crawl space ahead looks like an exit, but it's packed with dead wires that still spark when the tremor rattles them. Touch those, and your heart stops before you can scream. Quick gut check, because you're about halfway through this, and I know what it's starting to feel like. More hallway, more heat, more... Nope. Stay with me, because this is where it turns. You glance at your phone for a hit of normal. Still 11:43 p.m. Same minute it showed when you fell in.
What?
Your body swears it's been days, and the clock insists no time has passed at all. That gap between what your body knows and what the world admits is the thing that actually breaks people down here. Some of these pipes aren't pipes. A few are alive. A tangle the locals call the biological pipeline, threaded through the walls like a digestive tract built from metal and meat. It dissolves anything that stops moving inside it. You watch a rat squeeze into a gap between two valves. The gap contracts. The rat doesn't come back out. You stop looking at the gaps after that. Then the temperature drops just enough to lift the hair on your neck, and you know something else is in here. Something that breathes. The howl. A wet, dragging sound echoes behind you, followed by a limping step that moves faster than a limp should. You turn, and your phone light catches two gleaming white eyes. That's a hound. thin, bony limbs, a
Like a
jaw hanging
Wendigo.
open on rows of teeth, like broken glass. Black, scraggly hair down its back. It runs with a limp and still eats ground faster than any dog has a right to. Your thumb hovers over the flashlight because you remember the one thing that matters. Hounds have positive phototaxis. Translation, they're pulled toward the light. So right now your phone isn't a tool, it's a beacon screaming where you are. You kill the...
That phone should be in his pocket, turned off. If I'm stuck in the back room, that's the last thing on my mind. Even if that's the first thing I do is pull out my phone and check, that's the last thing that's on my mind, because I'm gonna pull it out, check it, and see that I can literally do nothing with it. So
light and the dark swallows everything. The hound snarls, and it sounds like someone trying to talk through a torn throat. You feel its breath on your neck, hot and wet, copper. Running blind, your shoulder slams a hot pipe and the skin sears. But pain means you're still alive. It claws at the air where you were, and you throw yourself into a side tunnel too narrow for its shoulders. It scratches at the mouth of the gap, teeth clicking against concrete like a knife on a plate. You press your burned arm to your chest and try to stop shaking. Here's why a near miss is the whole game. One bite passes the hound virus. And from there, you've got maybe half an hour before your own teeth start pushing out to make room for fangs. After the first few minutes, there's no cure.
well, at least he gets a prize for at least being in the back rooms. He gets to turn into a werewolf. That's tough. I'll turn into a... Hey, bite me. I'll definitely turn into a werewolf.
Check your arm. No bite. You can still feel the air where its jaw closed. It missed by an inch. An inch is the whole difference between you and the thing chasing you. Survival check 3. Odds after the hound aren't pretty.
Or the
Burned
hound,
arm,
whatever it is.
phone down to 4%, and the almond water's long gone. So you're back to nothing in your stomach. The adrenaline is draining out, and your legs are cramping from dehydration. Your odds drop to 25%. The pattern is brutal and simple. Every level down takes another bite out of whatever you got left. And level 2 is just finishing what level 0 started. You've got maybe one good decision left in you. Let's see if you spend it right. The grin. You round a corner and the hallway goes black. The last light behind you flickers out, and the dark is total. You can't see your own hand. Then you see the grin. It hangs in the black
grin.
like a sign that shouldn't be plugged into anything. Except the teeth are too big and the eyes aren't eyes. They're holes, glowing with a light that comes from nowhere. This is a smiler. Not the deadliest thing in the back rooms. The deeper levels keep horrors that would make this one look tame, but down here in the dark, it's one of the apex predators, and it knows it. Smilers are smarter than you. They pass straight through walls, and they're immune to anything physical, so swinging at one wastes the swing. They don't hunt to eat. They hunt for the fun of it, and they like to talk while they work. A voice crawls out of the dark that sounds like your own voice played backward through a fan. It knows your name. It knows how to make you believe it does. The grin stretches wider, and you realize it's been herding you backward toward the wall at the end of the hallway. You've got one weapon left, and it's the thing you held on to when you fell. Phone at 4%, flashlight still alive.
That's a weapon.
Light hurts smilers. Fire kills them. You don't have fire, but you have steam. And a broken...
And outside of the back rooms, the phone is a weapon, right? But inside the back rooms, not a weapon. Not a weapon whatsoever.
pipe is hissing white hot to your left. You raise the phone and put the beam on its face. It winces. The glow dims for half a second, and that half second is the only opening you get. Your heart's trying to crack a rib from the inside. Your hand shakes so hard the beam wobbles across the walls. The smiler tilts its head like a dog studying a bug. And the wrongness of it nearly nails your feet to the floor. You don't let it. You throw your shoulder into the steam valve, and a jet of scalding vapor rips across the hallway. The smiler screams, and it sounds like static tearing itself in half. You run past it while the light and heat hold it back, and you do not look back. You don't have to. You know it's still grinning. Somewhere in the dark behind you, the teeth are still glowing. There's a door at the end of the hall that wasn't there a second ago. You reach for the handle and your hand stops because you remember the false faces, the false exits, and the fact that some doors in here only open onto somewhere worse. But the lights behind you are dying. The grin is still back there, and you're out of better moves. You pull the door open and the dark swallows the sound of it. If you want to know what's on the other side, hit subscribe. The Backrooms aren't done with you yet.
Okay, so we might get more backroom stuff from Nerd Science. We'll probably end up doing the slasher movie John next too. We'll see. I don't know. Let me know what you guys thought about that down in the comments below. I kind of wish there was more levels he went through, but we might get some more levels. I want to see other levels. I want to see the other levels. I want to see what the other levels consist of scientifically. No, hit that like button, hit that sub button if you haven't already. The Backrooms is universally creepy for everybody, no matter who you are. And if you're not creeped out by that, then you just need to be in there. You need to be clipped in yourself, and then you'll understand. That'll do for me today, dude, boys.